So it is not even 4 o'clock in the morning. Not usually my time of day, but feeling surprisingly fresh, which is a bit worrying because I might hit a wall sometime later today. So my friend promised me this will be somewhat therapeutic. Again, in my eyes that doesn't involve getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, but see how it goes.
Hey guys!
Hello.
Welcome back to another episode.
And was it therapeutic?
Yes it was. Oh my. I know it wasn't my time of day to get up so early, but it was definitely worth it. It was a great experience. I know obviously to some people that is an absolute no-go, but I can promise you this is such a respectful manner in which this is being treated. It was a great experience. I'll definitely do it again, and I'll get to why at the end of the video. What was funny was the night before I was, packing my stuff and getting ready, and I felt like a proper little city boy, going into the forest. If there would have been more hunters there, they would have just probably taken the complete mick of me. And I mean, it doesn't help. My friend sent me a video on what to pack, and it was all in Romansh.
La slengia, bec or da moltesti fis menja freds, però piuttosto per quartargire senza c'è per tupare il lager per mettere c'è davant o per vedere se clean camouflage che è importante che ci fa salvarina anzwesa ma tempo ganz modern con spivel e poi c'è la salvarina che almeno è vanzo po però che è un po' invasibel, že keď facendo vedere per ganz stitz anche nel lager.
Not that I understand any of it, but it turned out fine. It was a great experience, and to see where it comes from, and again that it was such a respectful manner. However, this week we're speaking about the complete opposite. We're speaking about plant-based cuisine. Shall we call it cuisine?
Yeah.
You don't like the word diet, do you?
No. Diet, for me, the word diet has such a negative connotation. Diet means restrictions, and no, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Plant-based regime.
Yeah.
Plant-based
Cuisine.
Cuisine
Yeah.
sounds nice.
That sounds nice, right? Yeah, so this is obviously a huge trend, going plant-based and everything. And I'm going to be clear right up front. We're not entirely strictly plant-based, but we did implement this in our, let's say, weekly cuisine regime, whatever you want to call it. So Monday through Friday, we go plant-based, and weekends we do then celebrate the meat that we do consume.
Exactly.
So from a personal trainer, nutrition point of view, you were the one to jump on that train, let's call it that, about going plant-based. Why is that?
I just read about a lot of positives that come out of eating plant-based. So for example, it reduces inflammation, it reduces the potential of diabetes, heart conditions, blah blah blah. And I thought I wanted to give it a go to see if I notice a big difference.
And did you feel a big difference?
There was a few weeks that we did it really strict, and I think I did it a little more stricter than you,
Yeah.
let's say. And I did notice it in my training. I had a lot more energy, I had a lot more power as well. And then what I did notice is when I started to eat meat again and dairy, that I felt swollen. I felt swollen, I felt a bit more sluggish. And it just made me realize, okay, wow, it's kind of cool that we can interpret that from Monday to Thursday, relax it a little bit on Friday, because I like to eat meat.
Yeah.
I do. I like to eat dairy, but make it more of a celebration at the weekend.
I think consciously consuming meat and the right meat, but we'll get to that. But I do agree, I noticed that a few times after a week of no meat in particular, so you don't have all them fats, when you then have some proper meat, which is a bit fatty maybe as well, you do feel kind of sluggish is the right word, heavy maybe, and yeah, sluggish is the perfect term. That's correct. And your mum has noticed huge changes as well.
Massive difference. She's lost weight. She didn't want to lose weight as such, but she's
How dare she?
but she's lost weight. She feels good. She's got a lot more energy. Yeah.
And obviously for me, environmental engineer, this has also been a big reason for me to say like, okay, listen, take the foot off the gas. We don't need to have meat every day. We haven't really missed it throughout the week. I mean, it's 2020. There are a ton of amazing recipes out there, and you can have exciting food on your plate without missing the meat. I think that's been key for us.
I feel as though plant-based eating is very colourful.
It can be very colourful,
yeah. And obviously if something's aesthetically pleasing on the eye, it automatically kind of tastes good from the eye, if that makes sense.
I know what you mean. Yeah, the eye eats.
The eye eats.
The eye eats as well. Which is why, instead of just sitting here and talking you through a few facts and meals that you could do, we thought we record every day what we've actually cooked to give you some inspiration on what it could look like, and maybe, you know, get you a little excited about the idea of at least reducing it within the week. So from this previous week, Monday through Friday, we'll walk you through the dishes that we cooked, like I said, to give you some inspiration.
So, what are you doing?
Meal number one of our plant-based week, I would say, is sort of a plant-based burrito bowl. It's originally, I think, a taco, but we just skipped the tortilla and just made a burrito bowl with it. Some fresh rice and black beans. We have our roasted sweet potato. Problem is, we still need to find a way to get them crispy, but we'll manage somehow. And a quick corn and, why do I always say it with a Mexican accent? Corn and tomato salsa.
Wow, look at the colours.
Shall be nice. Are you excited about that?
Yes. The colours. We love colours in our food. Yummy. Look at this.
Has to be said, we have done it a few times before, so this is one of our favourite plant-based meals, if you will. So here's number one. Hey guys, so day 2, same spot, different dish. Now this one took a little bit of convincing for me because like I said in the last episode, I love my barbecue, and as you can see, this is tofu that we're actually marinating. It's got a bit of a Asian influence, soy sauce, sesame oil, sambal ulik, all the goodness. If you would have told me this a couple of months back, a year back maybe, I would have probably had a chuckle to myself because I like to put big chunks of meat on the grill, which I still do. But, you know, to mix it up a little bit, we came across a recipe in maybe you've heard of it, the Grill Bible. So we took that out of there and we tried it a few times. Babe, what did you think? What did you make of it?
It was so good.
Is it good?
So good, yeah.
And also, we just worked out. Let me grab the camera for a second. We just worked out. So it feels great. It's accompanied by like a grated carrot salad with some cashew nuts, and that's pretty much it. Some coriander. Just all good flavors, really. And the trick to this one here is, we did that wrong the first hour, remember? We didn't marinate it for long enough.
That's true, yeah.
But be nicely marinated in a bit. Throw that beast, I don't want to call it beast, throw that baby on the grill. See what the result is like. Like I said, took a bit of convincing for me to throw tofu on this beast. But
Wow, that looks beautiful. Two buttes.
2 buttes. In the end of the day, as long as it tastes good, if you serve it with some color, celebrate color. Again, it's all about taste, good presentation, good couple of sides, and good to go. As a nice little colorful and delicious side dish, we've got a shredded carrot, cashew nuts and coriander salad, if you will.
Get your hands dirty.
Oh, get your hands in there, and it's going to be nice and delicious and just feels right after a workout, don't you think?
Correct.
The eye eats as well. No reason not to make it look pretty, right? And there we have it.
Woohoo! Masterpiece.
Right, so welcome back. Day number 3.
3.
What is it? Wednesday? What are we cooking today, babe?
We are cooking a curry.
Yeah. So Indian food obviously is very good to cook veggie meals for the at least, but you can also do a lot of good plant-based stuff. So for us, the go-to menu or dish is lentil curry, all on plant-based. And I'm going to be using coconut oil. Nice little mise en place happening here, you know,
Wow.
French cooking. So we have
Organized.
homemade stock. Yes, I'm using tinned tomatoes, and we have the coconut milk. Got our base ready with onions, garlic, ginger, chili, as you can see by the red goodness. Tons of herbs and coriander, spinach waiting to be used as well. So,
What's in this bowl here?
food scraps. So, as you know, we hate wasting food, and technically all these food scraps we use to make this bad boy right here. This is our homemade stock. I don't know the last time we've actually used stock cubes.
Good question.
Right, we've used our own stock mainly, so when we cook meat on the weekend, I like to cook meat on the bone, so I use the bones even from chickens and stuff to make our own stock. So yeah, that's our go-to meal. I just realized I'm cooking a curry in a white top. That might not be such a good idea.
No.
Just 1 second. You might remember this goodness here. Oh yeah.
Ooh,
Right.
Chef Ackerman.
So my future in-laws, I think it's fair to say they like my cooking. For my 30th, simultaneously for Layla, you babe, buying me these wonderful knives, I've been given this apron and also a long sleeve one because they know how much I love spending time in the kitchen. So this goodness right here will be turned into a beautiful lentil curry.
Ooh, what do we have here? Smells divine.
Well, you know what we have. Does it smell good? See, while you were doing whatever it is you do down there, right? Been doing a little work here. Got the pan nice and hot for the chapatis. Got to finish up this piece of goodness. Rice on the go.
Guys, if you could smell this right now, I wish there's like a smell sensor.
Finishing touches. Get some spinach in there.
Ooh, Popeyes tin thing. Oh.
What?
This is Popeye. You know Popeye with the spinach?
Oh, Popeye.
Popeye.
Yeah. Popeye with the spinach, that's correct. So obviously I have no idea how authentic I am. If anyone from India is watching this, please give me feedback. I've tried to do it as authentic as I can. I'm going to finish up with the spinach like I said. Add some lemon juice to lighten it up. I have some coriander later. And the pan is nice and hot to make some chapatis.
Yay. Ooh, look at that, babes.
Puffing up nicely. So in India, apparently, if they puff up, that means someone
is hungry. So that means only one of us is hungry if I look at this chapati.
That's me.
Right. Please, anyone from India, if I'm doing something wrong, tell me! Alrighty. Time to cook once again. So Layla's at work. You know, as a PT, you work whenever your customers are not working. I love to cook, so I'm going to take care of that. So food is ready when she gets home. Today's dish is going to be a plant-based pasta dish with a parsley and almond pesto, if you will. Now, I'm going to be honest, usually I do pasta with eggs, but to make a point, I'm going to try the whole plant-based pasta dish today. I'm always curious about new stuff, so give it a go and then we'll judge afterwards. No prejudice, I'm trying. And also, usually the pesto I would do in a pestle and mortar. However, I do have quite a bit of parsley and I do have whole almonds, and you know, I need to blitz them. I think it would take quite a bit of space and my pestle and mortar is not that big. Anyway, usually I would use either pecorino or parmesan cheese in the pesto as well, which we're going to neglect today. So we'll see how that goes. No prejudice. No prejudice. Alright, moving on to the parsley pesto. Well, first and foremost, I'm not going to use pine nuts, I'm going to use almonds and the freshly picked parsley from, well, the windowsill really. I don't think I'm going to use garlic because I feel like it's going to overpower the taste of the parsley. Olive oil. Let's do this. And there you go. Nice and fresh parsley pesto. Let's see how this goes. The pasta machine idea has failed. The dough it's just too soft, too moist. It gets caught up in the machine all the time. So good old rolling pin. Let's get to work. Alright, so this has not gone to plan. I hand rolled everything. I hand cut the pasta, hence the funny shape.
It's green.
Yes.
Why is it green?
I put spinach in for you to make it a bit colourful.
Ooh.
But I'm not gonna lie, a little bit of a disaster, really. From now on, I think I'm gonna do it the way the Italians taught us and the world to make pasta. So. Day number 5.
Woo!
Right?
Yeah.
So we're transitioning into the weekend today, which means we're gonna use 2 ingredients that are not plant-based, just to be fair. After yesterday's pasta disaster, you like that, don't
I
you?
love that pasta disaster.
Right, we're gonna use macaroni, which by the way, are the ones that we mentioned from Alpine Mac in last week's video. So they obviously contain egg. And the other thing is we're going to use cheese for the dish we're doing, which is a cauliflower mac pasta bake. There's 2 reasons. 1, we like cheese, and 2, this cheese needed to be used. There were like scraps of Gruyere cheese, scraps of cheddar cheese. As you know, we hate food waste, so that's going to be used.
But this won't be a pasta disaster, will it?
This will not be a pasta disaster. There we go. Cauliflower and mac. I'm going to toss this with the cheese, some garlic, and then we have some breadcrumbs from stale bread. Again, don't waste anything. Stale bread, waxed it up with some rosemary. That'll be the topping to get it nice and crisp. So easing into the weekend with a little bit of a cheat, if you will. But I think she'll be right. Right, so that was our week. As you saw, on Friday we eased into the weekend, adding cheese to the dish, and the pasta was obviously not plant-based as such. But we hope that we gave you some inspiration and that plant-based food can actually look really colorful, and obviously you couldn't taste it, but it is delicious.
So good.
Apart from the pasta disaster, I think the whole week went well. Yeah.
At least you tried it.
I tried it.
You gave it a go.
Yeah.
We're not-
It was really more like a cooked flat dumpling. That's what it tasted like. No, it's not bad. It was just like...
tasted like a spinach dumpling.
Yeah, it tasted like a spinach dumpling, and I'm sure the Italians would have given me somewhat for. Anyway, but it turns out we did this now for the last 6-7 months.
Yeah.
And we keep doing it because that allows us to then invest in properly raised meat, like I have now observed, like with the game, because it can't get any more organic or biological or whatever you want to call it. That is self-sufficient meat, and they have to be contained as well so they don't spread too much. And therefore, if you do have to contain it, you might as well celebrate and eat it. And this is the properly raised meat, if you will. And if you want pork, if you want beef, lamb, whatever, if you then have meat on the weekend, make sure it's properly raised meat and you use it as a celebration, really.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you on that.
Comes with benefits as well, going plant-based in a week. So your dad as well has lost.
Yeah, my dad has lost a lot of weight because obviously mum is cooking for the both of them.
Yeah.
And he's noticed a huge difference as well. Huge, and you can see it, and he looks healthier. And
Yeah. Again, point is, no, we're not strictly plant-based, vegan, vegetarian, whatever you want to call it. No, I'd like to use the word common sense. I know that's not measurable, but I think it makes sense not to overeat and having to have the cheapest of meats and all. Rather go a bit slower, but then when you do go, do it right. So get properly raised meat then. Yes.
I was just about to say, I would actually like to do a little trial with myself. So before a big Spartan race, obviously you know that I do these crazy races. I would like to do proper plant-based, strict, even on the weekends, maybe 3 weeks before the race.
Yeah.
3-4 weeks before the race.
I'll have you remember that because your next race is on the 22nd of August, given it goes through
Yeah.
in
Exactly.
France. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Now, one thing that obviously comes with that change is behavioral change, habit change. Something that Layla has, well, we both, but you in particular have a deep interest in. So in the next episode on this sort of series, we want to talk a little bit about habit change, behavioral change. Probably from your point of view as a PT in terms of micro versus macro change. And for me, I'd like to go through a bit of a change management, really, if you will, the steps of change, and one particular step that is absolutely necessary because that's where most people fail and fall back. But we'll keep that for next time.
I was about to say, I was like, what is it?
Keep it for next time. Also, in the meantime, we will commence our staycation challenge, which shall be documented, but we're not going to give it away.
Oh no!
It's a secret. It's a secret. But if you want to see it, make sure you subscribe, stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.